Shah is a political commentator. Good to have you with us, Daniel. Let's have your assessment of what's been going on, the U.S.'s maximum pressure campaign, and the harshest, as President Trump put it, sanctions ever placed on Iran. Yet Iran is embarking on new national projects.
Yeah, I think it's important to point out that, well, Trump has tried to stiffen the sanctions. This is a continuation of Obama-era policies. These predated Obama, these sanctions. Ever since the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran, the U.S. has done everything to thwart the national development and the international development of the Iranian economy. But with this transition coming up on January 20th, the ruling class in the U.S. is really divided. They know their strategic objective is to recolonize Iran, to again seize this massive piece of the global chessboard. But there's one wing that wants to do it 100% belligerently through these brutal sanctions, through these selected assassination campaigns. And there's another wing of the ruling class that's saying, this is such a massive market of over 80 million people, we should be going in with other bombs known as Google and Facebook and YouTube and Apple. So that's the showdown right now that's playing out. There's a lot of speculation from the Wall Street Journal and the Washington Post. Most of the headlines are salacious, coming from the U.S. media and the Israeli media, particularly the Jerusalem Post, salacious headlines about Iran and what's going on with human rights in Iran, as if the imperialist countries cared one bit about human rights anywhere in the Middle East or Asia.
Yeah, especially the one who proposed Canada. Danny, do you expect any change of course when the new U.S. president goes to the Oval Office, given the division that you mentioned that exists across the states?
Politics is very dynamic. The ruling class is quick on its feet, and they will work through Biden according to their assessment of the best way to achieve their strategic, geopolitical, and economic objectives. At this point, we can only speculate, but Iran, thanks to China, which has 17% of the world's GDP, of the world's production, and thanks to deals with other isolated sanctions, blockaded countries like Venezuela, the U.S. is realizing that they cannot isolate and blockade these countries, because you now have massive trading blocks with the BRICS nations, Russia, China, the other countries under siege by the U.S. So if Iran can continue to circumvent these sanctions, and the sanctions are completely unsuccessful, this massive economic war, then I think the U.S. will change course.
Okay, thank you very much for your comments. Daniel